Hey, it's the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Back from boxing. Now, Dillian Whyte has he's responding to Dynamite Raphael on Twitter, man. Now, Dynamite Raphael said something on Twitter. That's true, man. He said, I'll read it for you guys. He said, hashtag boxing retirements in the past few weeks. Klitschko, Marcus, Bradley, Uchiyama, Miria, Guerrero, who's next? And Dillian Whyte responded to Dan Raphael, and he said next to be at Brown's bomber Deontay Wilder because he don't want to fight real challengers. Just washed up guys are old men. So that's Dillian Whyte's response, man. A lot of fighters did retire recently when in 2017. A lot of top fighters, Klitschko, Marquez, Bradley, and Guerrero. The Uchiyama, Miura. These fighters are elite fighters. They're top fighters who had once upon a time, and a lot of people think they retired too early. Um, so it's crazy. Marquez actually just had his birthday recently when he retired. So everyone's retiring. Hall of Fame fighters are retiring. Everyone's seeing it, and they're realizing that there's no shame in retiring. So it's a good way for these people to retire. The only one I know who really retired off like a really, really bad loss was Guerrero. He lost really bad when he retired, when he fought his last fight. It was a pretty devastating fight when he went up to 154. But anyway, man, Dillian Whyte says he's going to retire Deontay Wilder, man. That's wild, Because he's like, yeah, man, he's going to be next, man. All he's doing is fighting old men and bums. So it's crazy that you said that, man. Dillian Whyte has been rumored to fight a lot of people next, and he's gonna make his debut really soon, and I'm really excited to see Dillian Whyte make his debut in America because that's gonna really be a big selling point on Dillian Whyte in America. Um, I believe that top fighters from foreign countries, at least in America and the U.S., they're gonna have to debut in each other's countries. AJ hasn't had a fight in America yet. Dillian Whyte hasn't had a fight in America yet. Deontay Wilder has had a fight in the UK, but he hasn't had a fight in the UK as a champion. So Dillian Whyte is rumored to fight Malcolm Tan, and so that's going to be his coming out fight. He's going to be fighting on Terrence Crawford undercard, and that's going to be a really good fight, man. I can't wait to see that fight. It's going to be a showing out, party. So we'll see what happens, man. This guy has a decent knockout ratio, like 45% knockout ratio. Malcolm Tan, and he's a pretty decent fighter. He's pretty tall. He's 6'6". He has an 80 inch reach advantage, so he's not a walkover. So he's gonna have a height advantage and a reach advantage over Dillian Whyte. So it's not a soft fight for Dillian Whyte, man. He's coming there to make a statement, and we'll see what happens, man. Now, I think personally that Deontay Wilder should try to fight Dillian Whyte, man. That's the biggest fight that can be made in UK. That's not Anthony Joshua, in my opinion. Tyson Fury's retired, and I guess you could say Hughie Fury too, but that's if he gets past JP. But Dillian Whyte, man, that would be a really good fight, man. I really love to see him fight Dillian Whyte, man. Let me know how you guys feel about that because Dillian Whyte's been looking sharp, man. He has really sick training. I think nowadays with so much information and so much footage online, you can watch these fighters train. And I've been watching Dillian Whyte train a lot, man. He's getting a lot better and better every time I see him train, and he's definitely learning from the best. Really, I mean, he's doing like resistance band training. He's doing sit ups. He's running all the time. I think Dillian Whyte's only downfall probably is just his actual conditioning. If he got that good and he had really good physique, like an Anthony Joshua or something like that, he'd be a monster, man. And I think he's getting toward that, I always thought Dillian Whyte is more like a rugged fighter who just shows up fight night. I never seen him as like that hard-working guy, a gym rat. I don't see Dillian Whyte like that, but I've been seeing that a lot lately from him. And you can obviously see if you follow his career and you follow his training, he's definitely working toward that. And that's a good look for Dillian Whyte, man. He's definitely getting toward that, more pro life, and dedicating his life to the sport of boxing as far as getting up in the morning and working out and taking care of your body and eating right. You know, I've been seeing Dillian Whyte do a lot of workouts, man. And it's not just like sit-ups and like regular stuff like that. I'm talking about like resistant band training and like dragon style sit-ups and like just a lot of high level workouts, and that works your full body, and or workouts that specifically work a certain uh like a certain hook or something like that, or he would have like resistance bands, throwing left hooks, or straight rights. I've been seeing him do a lot lately. You know, more boxing related workouts too. You know, not just physical workouts. I've been seeing him do speed bags. I see him do a lot of things, man. So he's really getting there, man. It's his process with Dillian Whyte, because I always thought he was naturally talented. In my opinion, he doesn't look. If you look at him, you wouldn't think he's anything. Like if you didn't know who Dillian Whyte was, you wouldn't know he was a boxer. You don't have that physique of a boxer. You know, he just looks like a sort of like an ordinary guy. He's sort of big, but you know, he don't have that physique. You know what I mean? He don't have the aesthetics. You know, but he's getting there, man. And soon he'll be challenging elite level fighters, and he knows the only difference really at the highest level, in my opinion, with Dillian Whyte is just his athleticism. Because when you're athletic and you have coordination, you have all the skills of an athlete at the highest level. I mean, sometimes that alone can just separate you from everyone else. So I think Dillian Whyte, man, he gets those physical attributes. It would change everything for him, you know. Can you imagine Dillian Whyte like Anthony Joshua, all six packed out and buff and huge? I mean, he'll be a whole nother fighter. It would change everything, you know. And I think he's working toward that. You know, I've been watching Huey Fury fight, or not fight, but I've been watching his training. He's doing meal plans and working with nutrition companies. You know, I think Dillian Whyte should look into that too. Sometimes it's not how hard you're working. Sometimes this is what you eat and how you take care of yourself. Because you can be working out really hard and your body may not recover properly. You know, I think Dillian Whyte's using the latest workout techniques and stuff like that. But he needs to take care of his body too. I'm not sure what the fuck he's eating, but he doesn't look like he eats, you know, healthy all the time. Because, you know, working at the highest level, that weight would just melt off you. You know. But then again, there's boxing. There's some times in boxing where fighters don't look like they're athletic, but they're super athletic. They can be the most athletic person there is, and they just don't have the physique of athlete, you know? So, I mean, it's really tricky, man. You know, look at Andy Ruiz. You know, he's huge. He's a huge heavyweight, but he's probably one of the quickest heavyweights at heavyweight. Even I still think he's quicker than just Joseph Parker, you know? So, sometimes you don't need the aesthetics, but I think it'll definitely help Dillian Whyte in his future in boxing, just to be at a higher pace. You know, Dillian Whyte, you know, the more athletic he gets, the more punches he can throw, the more he won't think about getting tired. You know, he actually think about boxing. You know, if you're in the ring and you're gasping for air, you're not gonna be able to think as well as if you're in shape and you're fighting and you can breathe perfectly fine and everything's all well. So that's how I feel, man. I think Dillian Whyte, man, it's good that he's calling out Deontay Wilder. You know, I think he needs to get past this guy. He needs to make a statement. He needs to make a statement to fight Deontay Wilder, man. You know, Deontay Wilder needs to do something too, though, man. You know, I think he's rumored to fight Luis Ortiz, but Luis Ortiz is still trying to go the AJ route, so he might have to fight Thurman and fight his mandatory. But let me know how you guys feel about that, man. Who do you guys want Wilder to fight? Do you guys think he should fight Luis Ortiz first and then Dillian Whyte, or what? Because I think everyone wants to see Luis Ortiz versus anyone. Really is a great fight, man. Luis Ortiz is a monster, and you know no one wants to see him age super quick. So people want him to see in big fights before he gets too old, and I think everyone is pretty much in agreement with that. So let me know how you guys feel. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire, GeoBoxing Empire. Peace.